Alright, so um, expect for me to get it interrupted again. This is part two of the 20-minute video that I was doing because I'm just putting everything out there right now. So I was saying about the floor and about what's been going on with me is that uh, in much of a summary, trying to really compress 3 years into one moment because everything's just been building up from then on, from 2011 to now. And and before then, everything was fine. It wasn't as crazy or whatever. I mean, crazy as in schools. The school days, of course, is crazy. But from 2011 is because of how after the surgery has affected me, in the sense of confidence and whatever. Trying to build confidence and trying to be a little bit more on my own. Um, this is the part where I'm kind of like, for me, I want to have uh want to be much more clear with myself and with everybody else. And sometimes there are certain little things that will pop up that I will kind of fix. I'm real, but there are things, and I like to sometimes argue a little bit, but at the same time, I like to be that of a good, of somebody who people can actually come down and really talk. And at the same time, I like that too. It's like anything I like on a sense of friendship level and stuff like that, genuine, being genuine in that sense. That's what I strive for. Um, and I try to be as open, as clear as I can. There are certain things that, yet I'm gonna keep with me, and it's gonna be more on the private sense. But then later on, friendship becomes much more, in a sense, intimate, more connected. And there's a lot of friends of mine who are that are wondering about where I am, and this is why this is the purpose of this video, is to say, hey, I'm still alive. You know, the reason why I have the beard right now, which I want to take off, but not until the Red Sox win their game, is that like is a conscious choice on that aspect. Um, because uh, a lot of people are. I want to be part of that uh, um, connection. And so at the same time, I mean, I like the Red Sox. I grew up with it. At the same time, I like the Giants too because I was in San Francisco. It was my second home over there, and both I view them as like more of a collective, uh, uh, uniform, one mind kind of thing. And it's an experience as one mind to be part of that. And when the Red Sox are now gaining their ground, I'm in, with this, I'd be like, okay, let me give them. If they're going for the beard is good luck, well, I'm giving them the beard as good luck, and hopefully they can get through the game and win. They got this far. That means they did a lot of uh, reformation themselves, and there's always a constant evolution, and a constant change, and the constant workings, inner workings of the person to be able to excel. Same thing with a team. The team needs to work itself out before actually really being good. But nobody's really perfect. Everybody is it's an imperfect state that's constantly working itself to a better, more, harmony, a state of being. And usually is a lot better when one gets to go and really shake all that bad stuff out. For me, the only thing else that I really need is to walk out from this place and observe And this is why I usually have more fun outside than just twittering all the time. Like, because if I twittering all the time, a lot of people would be like, "What's wrong with this dude?" So I've learned I've learned in June that I cannot put anything negative to everybody else. Going. This is my new construct, my new mind thinking that I cannot share that negativity or that like you have to do this, kind of thing, um, to people. I only gonna do is I open up my I open up people with options, open up the mind with options that you have choice. You have many choices, many which way you could do things. A lot of people can say no, and that's fine, and I'm good with that. Although, don't put me on the cross and sacrifice me as being the imbecile just because I said so. It's more so that it's out in the table, and now it can be, uh, dissected, but not in a forceful manner where it says, no, you're an imbecile and now you're not part of this group. That's the sensibilities that they have usually going on on social sites. And it's because they only see they see the other person come out and just have such limitations on what you can actually say or whatever, and you try to summarize it without going into it. For me, oh boy, I will freaking write a whole essay on one particular thing because there's so much that goes behind it, and I have to learn to actually like assume certain people know that it's an experiment, but some people just don't really see it. It's kind of like trying to be sarcastic in a black and white screen. You have the black text on a white screen, and you try to be sarcastic on that sense, and you really need skills, writing skills for it. And to do it in such limited space with so limited words, you have to be extremely poetic about it, to be able to actually project that. And then sometimes certain people just don't capture it, and just don't, and so that's the problem. Sometimes people think, assume that they're gonna get it, but they don't, and then they get attacked, and then it just keeps rolling down, until someone says stop, stop. That's it. So, um, for me, I try to point that out. Sometimes it's bad, but sometimes I just try to like get really, like I'm a person that I like to learn a lesson every time, and I like to uh, learn from people, new people, get the insight from them. I want to see the best from them, not the worst. I don't, and then I try my best not to really say as much as I can, like dictate what others do or what others should do or whatever. Because then it comes around with all the negative, low vibration things like judgment and all that stuff, which I'm trying to, in my life right now, change. As think of me as I'm in a shroud of toxic air. In the center of it, I'm breathing. It's a little bit clear, the bubble's a little bit clear, but some of that toxic air is coming through my field. And but it's but see, that's the part. This toxic air is ignorant of me being there. Yet my field trying to slice through it has created this like hole in the middle because the toxicity is trying to convert me to the environment, and sometimes that environment is ignorant on the aspect of what is positive and what is negative. And sometimes on that aspect, it's completely, trying to survive. So at the same, it's trying to consume me. And this is what I feel. This is why I want to be alone sometimes, to come back to where I am and then flush out all that bad stuff that I, kind of soaked in. And then I can be like, yeah, what's up? Yeah. And the only time that really happens is I'm trying to really find that key and how to really do it faster. But it's always been slow process with me. And then in part, this is why I say, now I'm going to say the good news. The good news is that finally, with all that, all that stuff in the past, all that stuff in the past, um, the positives in the time of the opportunities that happen in the summertime was more so to fight against this ego of a metal that I've been going against, and so and trying to deconstruct it all the time. Nobody else sees it but me. Nobody ever really perceive what's really going on but me, in the sense that I am going through with this change, with this reformation of myself within myself. And not to say that I'm a bad person. I just say that there's a lot of irk, a lot of nasty goo stuck in the gears, making me slow, and making me all these things to understand what's really, what's up. And sometimes I, uh, understand it later. Like I project it. Like understand later, I look back and I'm like, oh man, why didn't I get it immediately? That information I would have learned immediately, and I would have been fine. Everything would have been set. And so this is the actual issue with me is I'm trying to get the process go faster on that. Um, but at the same time, I need particular space. It's not like I have an office now. I do a little setup. This is the setup for the past year and a half. Was it like year and some change or whatever? Past year, which I turned a year of being here in June. So it's a year and some change. I just feel that finally I'm trying to stretch out from this shoe that's still a 9, and I'm 10 and a half. So, trying to use my mind to use the space and the space to expand. I need to first come inside, go inside, focus on my heart, connect to the cosmos, and find that solution within myself and expand. And this is the eternal struggle that happens to me because I'm 32 now. I don't imagine if I'm 62, and from there on I'll be like, yeah, I know this issue, I know this problem. And when I look at this video again, which it becomes obsolete immediately, doesn't make any more sense at all. Once I see this, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, I'm terrible. Still stupid. Can't. Oh. Hmm. So that's how I feel when I see it again. And so I just record, cut it, post it. Don't look at it ever again until like 2, 3 years later. And usually that happens. I have a lot of private videos I never post it. A lot of private videos that I talk and talk and talk and talk, and we'll go over for 40 minutes talking, whatever. But yeah, so in a sense, right now I'm good. I'm getting better. Um, and then that's part of the good news. And the part of the good news too is that I learned a secret that helps me look forward into the future better with a keener, more aware eye. And this is the part that gives me much more energy and more comfort and less anxiety and less feelings of of these negative things that chains everybody up, kind of thing. And so because I know my origins, I know better what to go forward for. Because now I know what are my faults and where the faults came from, which is not my fault. It's not my fault. And finally, I'll be saying to myself, it's not my fault. It's how I take it. It's not to care. I do care, but it's how to take it. The same thing with my teacher, my really wise teacher, who's a um, technical artist at 2K Games, who was at the AI once upon a time. He helped me realize that if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. But that doesn't mean immediately that you don't. You can get it. It's not that you're born with it. It's that you have to learn it. And it could be 2 seconds or 80 years or another lifetime. But in that sense, nothing. And he taught me that message at school. Very, 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 like, it's nothing that one has to worry because of all the stuff that's going on around us. One has to worry and be centered on the part where you need to go and really take out all that nonsense. Um, just all that nonsense that takes away your attention and your focus. This is why I don't watch TV. I like to watch TV shows. To be real with you, I haven't watched anything. Anything. Like, I only watch Doctor Who. And that was back in May. Oh, in June, I mean. Yeah, that was the last one was around in June. Yeah, in June I watched it because they said, okay, the next episodes for the ending of the series is the 50th and the Christmas special. And then from there on comes a new one, which I need to get whatever for that on YouTube because I have a YouTube thing. But that's the only thing I watch. I don't watch Breaking Bad. I don't watch Walking Dead. I don't watch none of that. And it's because I don't have Netflix. And it's because I don't want to go on. Uh, you know, I don't want to do it. Or just yet, I feel extreme anxiety by sitting and watching a show alone. And usually am alone on the accounts of that. And so that's the part that I have the issue. As if I was with someone who would share the experience. I wouldn't mind watching Breaking Bad or Walking Dead because that's what I did. I watched the first few episodes of Breaking Bad when I was in California in school, and I watched a few episodes, the first season of Walking Dead, with my fellow friends in college, because they have their Netflix open and they were sharing, and I was there, and we were like, yeah, let's take out, at the time before the surgery, I was drinking some beers and whatever, and we're just chilling and watching this and relax because we have to find something to relax on top of the video games that we have to put away because we need to do our homework. Um, and with that, I feel lost because the only thing I get it back is Twitter. Because all these people are talking about it, and but I get it back because I get to see that experience. It's like I'm aching to see people. Like this is torture being alone in part because I learned so much. I want to show them what I've learned. At the same time, I'm gonna trip because it's like, what if they look at me like, oh, like super strange? So this is the purpose of this video. Is for them to see what's up, what's going on in my head. Get it, get kind of like, okay, this is what's up. This is just, it's like a message in the bottle. It's like a piece, that letter in a bottle. It's kind of like putting it in a bottle. This is my bottle. YouTube is my bottle. I'm sending out my message. We're past the 20 mark now. I'm gonna go to 21 minutes. I'm sorry I've tortured you this much, but I love you. I love everybody. Um, the one person who really twists up my consciousness, and really made me kind of focus, directly talking to this person, and I have to give so much thanks and so much love to, is Sai. Sai is like, I don't know, a godsend kind of for me because of how somebody so strong. I mean, she's strong. So there's certain things that we need to fix. But overall, 90% of the efforts that she does is just incredible. And it's just admiration I have for her, like complete admiration. I'm like, wow. And she loves everything. It's a lot of heart that comes from. And then I'm like, okay, cool. This is what I needed. This is the person who I have to focus on trying to renew a lot of stuff from all the all the black goo or whatever that comes in the clogs. It's kind of like she gave me some Lysol or some Clorox, and then I can just spray that goo out of the way. I need someone to reflect on. I need someone, a good friend, who will listen, to reflect on and understand. Don't say anything. Don't suggest nothing much, just to say this is the heart. I know you're going through this and you have to understand this, but that's it. Leave it at that. Explosive, because I just need a vector point to come back, and then I continue the cycle. And it's just give after that. It's just like diarrhea of give. Sorry to make a negative to a positive, but it is. That's the thing. This is why I give her so much hugs, so much love, because this person really, like, and then from there on, all the good things happen. In September, the highlight of the show was the Boston Festival, of indie games, and that was the highlight, because it's like finally I get to go there and talk to people that I can relate to and I can understand. I can be there for reals. And then usually what happens to me is that I like to meet people and I want to be real, and I like to cry. If I would met somebody, I would be tearing. You won't notice sometimes I'm tearing, but I'm tearing. Sometimes when I really express how I feel, like for instance, I had a fan moment, or like a star. I got starstruck by seeing Zoe and Rami. I'm saying his name right? And so Rami is the guy who made Super Crate blocks, and Zoe is the Depression Quest girl, and so I when I finally talked to them, uh, it just felt like I'm alive in a way, kind of like, okay, I'm not behind a computer screen anymore. This is real, kind of moment. And then that's why I kind of like. That's why I like those festivals because when I talk to people, developers, real people that know their stuff, they're really genuine. I learn from them, and I'm always a student learning from from other students because we need each other, and I know they are a higher level than me. I develop games, yes, whatever I develop. I'm just working on one particular game, which is Dark Zeta Volume 1, and I am focused on that, trying to finish it because it's a big project. It became a big project for me because I started small, but when I look through it, I'm like, it's change, and I gotta do little changes like to come up to be more actual. But because I'm one in doing the code and stuff, I need to learn from these friends. I need to learn from stuff when I get stuck. I need to ask these questions and whatever. I will give back as well. This is my payment. My payment is, well, you know something on me, so now it's time. I'm gonna show you something that I can suggest. Maybe you know, um, you can pick it up and run with it or not. But at the same time, it's it's because you helped me, and so this is the cycle that I want to create. Kind of like I help you, and you help me, kind of thing. Cool. But for me, the ultimate thing is always help the other person, always give to the other person, and so because I know for certain that will help me get into a higher state of vibration. It gets me high, man. Help somebody else, it gets me high. It's serious, some serious stuff that really does. And I love, I love people as the core programming I have in my heart. And I've been uh, taking out all that nasty hate stuff and all that stuff because I've learned that that's what they want me to feel. That's what they want me to feel is hatred. Stay at the low vibration levels. Stay there so I won't be able to actually evolve. Won't be able to be aware of my actions. Be entertained by things that are just, waste. Just a waste. Like, come on, Miley Cyrus. Why? Like, first, she was cool with what she was doing. But then they always have to, like, and I'm like, no, no, no. That, seriously, I have an issue with that. And anybody who wants to go into this, like, Athena mode, like I'm talking about Athena as in battle mode, war mode, or Ares mode kind of deal where they want to just, create friction into war status. I'm extremely passive with that. I like to compete because it motivates me, to compete, to get into gear. And in a sense, I use it in the positive sense instead of the I am better than you. More like, oh, you did that, with the spirituality kind of. Oh, you did that. All right, cool. I'm gonna imitate you, and I'm gonna imitate you, and I'm gonna do it better. So like that, you can do it better too. And then we're gonna make it. We're gonna build it. And we'll put in all the bricks to do this building and make this building the best damn place in the world. And that's me with the team, with everybody else out there. And I'm making them be a part of me, and I'm making them being a part of them. And we're one. In the end, we're just one. We're just one, and we're not divided. And this is why I like I like Unity, because Unity does this thing. At the same time, I love Game Maker because Game Maker, for the past since was it 12 years? Yeah, past 12 years I've been using it, and I love it. And I know I haven't gone so far because I always hit a wall, and then this wall is the only result is to find somebody who can lend me their understanding. And you can only go so far alone. And no, that's why you need harmony with a group of people. This is why I love my indie friends who are following me, who I then follow them, because this is what I give. I give my heart. I give out my heart to them always because they're doing their thing, and I will always try to promote that. And they promote it too, and it's just part of the nature. This is the harmony ego that has to be constructed within everybody, is to create a program for us. I'm talking about mind program for us to just give without the intent or without the thinking of receiving back. Perseverance is the biggest key word that my teachers, but even that goes all the way to freaking elementary school, keep saying. Perseverance will keep popping up. It's something that I go, and it's just like Goku. I don't know if anybody watched the movie Goku versus Broly. I know that was a senseless violence kind of thing, but energies fighting each other. Ones that feels that there is a true threat, as is just brute force. Goku defending the universe from this brute, this brute, complete brute who just hates, who gets off by destruction, by completely putting everything into oblivion. As an example, or something like that. People don't see it no more than the actual surface of it. It's a fight, yes, but there is actual link between that fight and our actual, uh, you know, form of mind fighting our own consciousness, our own awareness in this movie. And it's pretty much saying that where is this enemy? And the enemy has been there. And when it wakes up, we have to fight it. We have to, kind of like get it, wrangle it, wrestle it. And once we find the weak spot, like Goku did against Broly, Goku didn't do it alone. Goku had to find and had to fight this thing with friends. And finally, when Goku, when Vegeta gave up his ego or his stand of being superior, and finally saw that everybody's at equal level as he is, he gave. And when he gave that power to Goku, this the only one right now really persevering to finish this thing, to finish the job. That's where everybody's like, Gohan, Piccolo, everybody in the planet, the people who are the ones enslaved in the movie in Brawly, and it just they gave all that strength to Goku, little amount extra to surpass this legendary Super Saiyan, because this legendary Super Saiyan is nothing. It's nothing to unity. To I keep forgetting that word. Solidarity. To one solidarity. This is why people need to come together and do stuff. And we only motivate each other with having fun with this thing. When we do have fun, we never get this, never put that program and saying I am better than you. And that's the part. that I've learned these past few months, and it's always been like that, fighting all the time. It's always going to continue. So I just hope you guys saw throughout the 35 minutes of this video and see where I'm at the moment. I was gonna write this down too. It's a lot better writing it down because you don't have to spend 35 minutes listening to my mumbo jumbo and I get sidetracked and all that stuff. But thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, and and a lot of blessings. I give all my blessings to you guys. Thank you. And let's look forward to making that. You know, just making it. Just looking forward to making it every day.